Charge. Okay. Good evening. I want to start saying thanks to Joanna for making it possible. I know that you work hard and you have a lot of responsibilities. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Now I'm going to share my screen. Okay. I'm going to start introducing myself. My name is Noelia Araya. Currently, I am working at me. I have been teacher for 5 years. The next presenter is Maria Jose Bolanos. She has worked in public and private institutions. She has been a teacher for 7 years. The other panelist is Maria Jose Courrau. Currently, she is a language instructor at SITES. And she has been a teacher for 1 year. Okay, how are you? How has it been? How are you, Joanna, sorry? How are you?
Good evening, everybody. I'm fine. Thank you for the invitation. And I hope that we enjoy this time together.
Thank you, Jo. Okay, this is our agenda. We're going to start with introduction. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about the social presence in online learning. Then we have a theoretical base because we're going to explain you a little bit about how you can implement the speaking online lessons. And then the last point is the presentation of the website that we create for you. The goal is to promote the social presence in online learning in order to improve the speaking proficiency. Why? Because sometimes we forget that now is not the same to be face-to-face that happen online learning. The second one, to describe different teaching strategies to teach vocabulary in order to enhance the speaking skills in primary school learners. We want to help you in order that you get better to your students and improve the communication and speaking skill. The third one, to show visual tools in order to facilitate the teaching of the speaking during pandemic situation in our country. And of course, we were like taking out of our comfort zone because we were not expecting the situation and we were not prepared, or at least almost all of us, to work online. Okay, the first point is online, the social presence in online learning. It is very important, or a tip that you can use as an English teacher is to make your presentations personal in order that the student feel engaged and motivated, that the student feel that you are there with them and they are not alone just with a computer. The second one is ask about their feelings. So you can start a lesson asking about how has your day been, or do you have something new to talk about? The third one is include warm-up activities. As you told us, you work with children, so the ages are like 7 until 12 years old. And it's not the same to work with an adult than with a teenager. Of course, they have a lot of energy, and imagine the whole day just in front of the computer is hard for them. So you can practice like some stretching, warm-up activities. You can use also the face-to-face warm-up activities in online learning. For example, you can ask them, can you choose a thing from your house that you really like it and talk about it or describe about it with your partners? And they can do it and they can enjoy it. And they are producing, of course, communication. Provide meaningful feedback. That means that you can, for example, send them a video, for example, with ideas about how they can improve pronunciation, and in that way they can learn through the process. Also, peer feedback. You can let your students work in different teams, and in that way they can improve a lot, because it's not the same when an adult talks to you that when a person that has your same age communicates something. Also,
Right.
to include the 4Cs, yes, that is communication, creativity, collaboration, and the last one, that is critical thinking. I'm gonna show you like one activity that I use with my students. I they work in different breakout rooms and they complete a chart. So in that way, they can, for example, ask information as you told us that you were studying, I think that was present perfect. So you can include here questions about present perfect, and they can, of course, if you set very well the rules, they can ask a classmate about the preferences. And not just that, at the end, they can share the information with the rest of the classmates. For example, they can create graphics where they show the results, and they can create also like a sum map using the important words or keywords, such as all of us have studied hard for the English, for I don't know, for the English test, or most of us have visited uh, other countries around the world. And none of us, and you can include something like that. And of course, at the end, they can show the results with the rest of their classmates. Okay. Okay, now we want that you please answer this question. This is a Menti, you know how to use it. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna share with you here. Okay. So I'm gonna share with you this Menti, and I hope, of course, we're gonna participate too. It says, what risk do we, sorry. Okay, it says, what risk do we ask students to face when participated in class? Yes, because we are asking them to talk in public. So it's not that easy, yeah? So I want that you write like what are your different opinions, and of course my partners too.
Okay.
For example, I think that anxiety. So we can compare this.
Are you getting the answers?
Okay, let me check.
I am voting on Mentimeter. Is
Yeah,
it?
that's
Yeah,
right.
okay, great.
Awesome.
And now I see a microphone, but it doesn't allow me to do anything.
Okay, let me check. Okay.
Um, I'm sorry, but I'm seeing
Okay.
right now, I'm seeing a microphone. There is a microphone, but I can't do anything.
Okay. Let me check what's going on. I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna continue with Maria Jose, yes, and then we will come back. Yeah, we're gonna continue with. Oh, we can share. I think that we can share because, well, as we are here, I think that we can check we can share the answers. Well, I can see my answer that I think that it's anxiety and they are nervous because it's not the same to talk, for example, with your parent that to talk with, people that they are your peers, they are your same age, and also maybe they are like they have like a crush with someone. Of course, they're gonna get nervous.
Mhm.
Okay, I don't know. What do you think?
Yes, totally. I agree that our students are facing a lot of feelings and emotions, and I think they have been doing the best because this is new for all of us and especially for them. I am a teacher. I am a kids teacher, so the ages are from 7 to 12, 13 years old, and this is a new lifestyle for them because they are really missing to be in the classroom, to be in the building, to be sharing with their classmates. So I think that they have been facing this in a great manner. And because I am the listening and speaking teacher, and when I ask them to participate, it's sometimes it's kind of hard for them because they are afraid of what the classmates are going to think or say about what the family that is with them in the house are
Yes,
going to, what the family is going to think, or look at that or hear that, or I don't know. Sometimes they are afraid of that. Also, sometimes they are confused, even though you try to explain what they have to do, and even though you try to give input and to give feedback or whatever, they even though they feel frustrated and confused because it's not the same when you are face to face. And you can see if the student is okay with instruction, if the student is ready to participate. And through virtual classes or through this new system, it's really hard to get that connection with the student. So I think that they are facing anxiety, as you said. Sometimes they feel confused and worry.
frustrated.
Yes, and worry about not only about the teacher or classmates, but also because of the family around. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true. That is the reason why we as teachers must work hard in providing a healthy environment, yes, or a positive environment where they can participate and feel encouraged to communicate. Give them like the tools and use different apps in order to make them feel comfortable enough to talk and to express their feelings in public and to feel confident enough to communicate. That is a goal, of course, that we as English teachers are looking for.
Right.
Okay, so so now Maria is gonna talk to us a little bit about the theoretical base.
Okay.
Okay. Hello again, Joanna. We
Hello.
are so glad to give you some tips and information in order to help you with your students. We are aware that you mentioned in the survey that that you have been facing some difficulties with the speaking skills of your students, right? So the idea of this workshop is to give you some ideas, some tips, some strategies um, to help you with this area. And obviously we wanted to investigate a little bit about it. So we did some research in order to give you tips and ideas from experts, not only from us, right? Because we know that we are teachers and that we are professionals, but we also wanted to have a theoretical base in order to give you that information. I'm gonna turn off the camera in order to have better connection, but I am here, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, give me just 1 second. Okay, so actually it's not only you. We investigated that most teachers agree that the learning process, especially virtually, may produce difficulties with the students since they cannot communicate efficiently. And we also found out that this may happen because of lack of vocabulary to convey their ideas. So some of the strategies that we want to propose to you is to use some strategies to improve vocabulary in the students. That way the students will have a better lexicon and better ways to express themselves. Sometimes they want to say something, but when they do not know the word, they just cannot say it, right? We know that. I used to be a science teacher and I am an expert on that the students wanted to say many things, but they couldn't because they didn't find the word. And so we found a lot of theory and a lot of sources about this. So this situation may cause demotivation in the students due to their limited use of vocabulary, which we know that this may hinder the oral production in the class, right? So taking into account the importance of vocabulary and its relation to the development of speaking skills, we know that teachers should promote the use of vocabulary strategies to help ESL students in order to help them to have better oral communication. And we also should encourage our students to use these strategies, right? We also know that all the elements, comprehension, fluency, pronunciation, and content play a very important role in oral communication. However, we discovered that vocabulary plays a more significant role, because we know that when the student says a word, for example, hungry, that is just a simple word, right? But we know that the student wants to eat. So the student is saying only one word, but he is saying an idea. He or she is saying an idea, right? So we have some authors that sustain this information. For example, we have Gutierrez, who is an expert on linguistics. He considered vocabulary to be the essential component for students to communicate in a language. He also admitted that vocabulary is the base for oral communication. Then we have Nation, who is an expert on the field. He has 3 books related to the area of speaking. And he says that the importance of vocabulary, when he asserted that studies of native speakers' vocabulary suggest that second language learners need to know very large number of words in order to communicate. Then we have 2 other authors, Go and Burns, who stated that language learners cannot communicate efficiently when they do not handle enough vocabulary to convey their ideas. And I am just mentioning only 3, but we have actually more than 10 authors who sustain these ideas. So in order to do this, we want to give you strategies. This means that we created a plan to help you to introduce vocabulary by using vocabulary strategies that allow your students to improve their oral production. So I know that right now it is virtual, so for us it's really important to give you some ideas. For example, the use of word associations with images. You may use this physically when someday, probably next year with your students,
Yeah.
or you may do it virtually as well, right?
Yes.
How can we do this? Well, you can learn, well, the students can learn vocabulary through reading, using stories, using poems, using simple sentences. So the idea is to give them the words through context, or associating the word with an image or a picture or a video. If you have videos, that would be great.
Yes.
Then they also give us ideas of using or introducing vocabulary, activating previous knowledge, and that is something that you can do in your class or virtually as well, right? And by asking the students previous questions of things that they have learned from the past. Or we know that also in your school, they use a lot of constructivism.
Yes.
So that will be great, right? To give them the opportunity to learn new ideas and new words through anecdotes, through experiences. And obviously the idea is to teach these skills using dynamic virtual tools with your students. So Maria Jose Courrau is going to give you well, some tips and some ideas to use them virtually, okay?
Great, thank you.
You're so welcome.
Okay, just give me a second to share the website.
Right.
Okay, so as my partners mentioned, we wanted to give you ideas of how to teach specific skills virtually, or we created this page for you to teach or use these apps and websites virtually, or they can also use them at home to practice by themselves. And we divided it by skills. First, we have speaking and listening. And in here, we have some websites. We included the age, the page link. We included an image so that you can guide yourself and see that you are in the correct website. A brief description of what the website is about and what they have there. And in here, we have a lot of different pages, right? Where they can listen to stories, conversations, dictations, audios that may help them improve their listening and their speaking skills. Then here we have reading. And in this part, I personally love the apps here. They are very fun and interactive for students. Here they can learn to read, and all the way to a website like this one where they can listen and look at the books. In this specific website, they chose famous people to read to the children. So they're professional actors. So the voices and everything they do are very engaging for the children.
That's
And
cool.
yes, it's very nice. And it has like videos of the characters moving, so it's very interactive, and it's a very nice page. So we have a lot of different games that go from that one. They can read books, they can learn to read, or they even can check their reading comprehension. And finally, we have here some writing apps that try to encourage them to be small little writers and explore that area, right? That maybe some of them could be a little afraid of exploring. But in here, we have like Boom Writer Kid Blog, where they can share with you and with the other students about stories or opinions they may have. So and this one, that's like a different one from the others. We have Storybird, and there's another one called Story Jumper, where they can access and create their own books. So they can even create their characters to look like them or like their classmates, like their family. They can add pictures as backgrounds. They even have a lot of different elements that they can add in their stories. They can add their voices to tell the story. They can write texts. So it's a very interactive page, and they love it. And then, since you mentioned about the speaking skills, we created a worksheet here where we added some pages that are very useful that have speaking activities that you may adapt to presential or to online learning, or even there are specific ones for virtual classes.
Okay.
So we will send you these resources that we
Sure. Yes, please do that.
that will enhance your class a little bit and will help you out through this difficult time.
So as I said before, we really appreciate your time to make it possible. We hope that you are right, and of course that you're going to use all these apps in your classroom, and also all these tips in order to become. I know that you are an excellent professional, but of course we never stop in learning. So you're gonna be better each time, as we know you're so committed to your job. So we wish you the best. Yeah.
Yes, no. You don't have to say thank you or no. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to me to see you and to share this time. And I do really appreciate those applications, and I hope you send that presentation to me, because yes, I will try all of them, because since I teach from first grade to sixth grade, so that means that I have to be creating different material and different activities for them to be interested in the subject, right? Because just to be in a virtual room and to be listening to the teacher or just talking and participating every time, that's boring for them. So we need to find new ways to make them feel comfortable and to feel happy under all these circumstances.
Thank you so much, Joanna, again.
No, thank you so much. You're welcome.
Yeah.
We will send you a rubric or a survey to provide feedback to us in case that you have any suggestion or any idea in order to improve our presentation or our workshop. Okay.
Okay, that's good, and I will do it. I will complete it.
Thank you.
Thank
So much.
you.
More than welcome.